Greetings to all. Today's reading portion is from Genesis 22 to 24. In Genesis 22, God tests Abraham by asking him to sacrifice his beloved son Isaac. Abraham obeys without hesitation and journeys to Mount Moriah. Just as he is about to offer Isaac, God stops him and provides a ram as a substitute. Abraham's faith is affirmed and God renews his covenant blessings. The chapter ends with a brief mention of Abraham's extended family. This chapter reviews the true depth of faith, complete surrender to God's will. Isaac symbolizes what is most precious, and Abraham's obedience reflects trust beyond understanding. The provision of the ram points prophetically to God's ultimate provision. It shows that God does not sacrifice for destruction, but obedience rooted in faith. It also foreshadows divine redemption. In today's life, believers are often tested in areas closest to their hearts. True faith means trusting God even when His ways seem difficult. God sees our obedience and provides at the right moment. We must learn to surrender our Isaac, that is, our attachment, ambition, or fears. Faith grows stronger when we fully trust God. In Genesis 23, Sarah dies at the age of 127, and Abraham mourns deeply for her. He negotiates with the Hittites to buy a burial place. Abraham insists on paying full price and purchases the cave of Machpelah. This becomes the first piece of land he owns in the Promised Land. Sarah is buried there with dignity. This chapter reflects the reality of human mortality and the dignity of honoring life even in death. Abraham's purchase signifies faith in God's promises beyond his lifetime. It shows that faith includes patience and long-term vision. Death is not the end, but part of God's unfolding plan. It also emphasizes integrity in dealing with others. In today's world, this teaches us to handle with loss, faith, and dignity. We must live with an eternal perspective, trusting God's promises. Integrity in financial and social dealings is essential. Even in grief, believers are called to act wisely and honorably. Faith continues beyond present circumstances. In Genesis 24, Abraham sends his servant Eliezer to find a wife for Isaac from his homeland. The servant prays for guidance and God leads him to Rebekah. She shows kindness by offering water to him and his camels. Recognizing God's answer, the servant arranges their marriage. Rebekah willingly returns and becomes Isaac's wife, bringing comfort after Sarah's death. This chapter highlights divine guidance in life decisions. Prayer will play a central role in finding God's will. Rebekah's kindness reveals a heart aligned with God's purpose. The servant's faithfulness shows the importance of obedience in fulfilling God's plan. It also reflects how God orchestrates relationships. In modern life, we must seek God's guidance in major decisions. Prayer and discernment are essential. Character and kindness matter more than outward appearance. God directs our path when we trust Him. Relationships built on God's will bring peace and fulfillment. Points to ponder. What is the Isaac in your life that God is asking you to surrender? Are you seeking God's guidance sincerely in your daily decisions and relationships? May God bless us with these words. Amen.